The thing that surprised me most about this Google leak, so quick recap yesterday, Google had its biggest leak ever. It's a leak of algorithm factors. So if you've ever wondered how things rank on Google, 14,000 ranking factors, which is a lot, were leaked. Now, the weights weren't leaked, but the factors were. So you can look at things that Google takes into account. And lots was revealed. It was revealed that the Chrome browser, Google Chrome, was created to measure clicks for Google search, to improve Google search. It was revealed that brand is taken into account. Google has lots of different ways of measuring brand. Being a good and reliable author, that's taken into account. Posts will perform well if it's by a good and reliable author, then they'll get a little bit of a boost. There's all these different little ranking factors. Yesterday, I recorded a 37. The original recording was 37 minutes, but I trimmed it down to 34. Well, the original recording was actually probably, I think, like closer to an hour. Then the trim was 37, and then I further trimmed it down to 34 minutes. But I recorded this long podcast on it, how the leak even happened. And actually, this story of how the leak happened shows the point that I'm going to make on this episode, which is, the point is, it revealed to me just how stupid my colleagues in SEO are. Not all of them. There's some smart ones, but a lot of ones are so dumb. And here's why. It's like so dumb. I want to just read a tweet that I put out yesterday because I think I did a decent job synthesizing my thoughts on this tweet, and then I'll expound on it. I said, this whole time I always moved like Google knew everything about my websites. I did SEO with that in mind. Other colleagues would say, no, Edward, they don't know that. They say that they don't know that. And I'd say, logically, they're probably looking at this, plus my experience suggests that they're also looking at this and they also know this. And the Google leak shows that they knew everything. Then I wrote, think like an algorithm designer and you'll rank well. So I always did SEO thinking like an algorithm designer. What can they know and what can they not know? When it comes to my websites, when it comes to how retention is measured, when it comes to how click-through rate is measured, of course, Google is going to know if users click onto a site from search and then go back because it doesn't match what they're looking for. Of course, Google is going to know if a user clicks around, scrolls around, spends time on a site, clicks deeper into a site. Google's going to know that. And I always moved like that. Even though Google said that they don't know that. They literally said that they don't know all these things. And I moved just like because I believe that they knew these things. And a lot of other SEOs who I'm seeing, they're like, what? Oh my gosh, I told all of my clients that Google doesn't know that. And now Google said that they knew it. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, try to deliver the best product you can. Expect this. Now, there are some things which is pretty obvious that Google has a harder time tracking, such as Parasite SEO. However, then they make investments into the companies that Parasite SEO is done on. Parasite SEO means to leverage another site's domain authority, a site that allows for user-generated content and to post content on that site so that it will rank well in Google search. And the trick is to not link to your own site because then your own site doesn't get in trouble. And you also want to use VPNs. All this, you need to anonymize yourself to a certain degree. I'm not saying that I do any of this. In fact, let's say that I don't do any of this, but I know a lot about it because I talk about search engine optimization all the time on this show. So I have to know all about it. But it's just think like an algorithm designer. And I would think like, what is like most easily measured? Okay, if someone goes to Google and they click into a result and then they click back pretty soon, they come back pretty soon, that's something that Google can measure pretty easily. So I would just think, okay, that's going to be taken into account. What happens on my website, that will be harder for Google to know, but they probably have some way of knowing. And it turns out that they do because they measure clicks through Chrome. There was a rumor going around that they would measure stuff through Google Analytics. I haven't seen this confirmed yet, but I mean, what would it really change for me? If you're playing the long game, this doesn't really change much. If you're trying to do like stupid little short-term wins, which don't really amount to anything in the long run, and which I can't really say I condone the little stupid, silly short-term wins. Some here and there, which are growth hacks, which can lead to your site getting more domain authority, which can lead to your site getting more traction. Like if you made something great, okay, here's what I believe. If you made something great and you want to spark that flame, a little growth hack here or there, that's excellent. I've made lots of viral videos before TikTok, before Instagram. This was over 10 years ago now on YouTube, 2012, and I would make all these viral videos. And we knew these videos are great, and we would put them on YouTube and no one would see them. We knew they were great. We knew that they were going to get millions of views. And I had to do all sorts of things to get that initial spark. I had to drop it anonymously on Reddit. I had to send it out anonymously to journalists, many journalists, and hope that one would bite, and then one would bite, and then it would go viral. I had to leak it on TV or leak it in this way and that way. And that's totally different because I made these things that I knew that if the right people saw them, the spark would catch fire and they would go viral. But what a lot of SEOs do is they try to put out just pieces of garbage and growth hack their way to success on garbage, which I think is quite silly, to be honest. Make something good and then throw the growth hacks on that. Like, it's just how I operate. This is something else that I wrote. This is going to be on the landing page for my product. I said, did the Google algorithm leak change anything? This is literally going to be a section. I'll probably put this on my product today on the landing page today. Does the Google algorithm leak change anything? And I said, yes. It literally enforces compact keywords. Compact keywords is the name of my product. Compact keywords is basically bottom of funnel keywords. These are keywords that address purchase intent. So I'm just going to keep reading and you'll understand what compact keywords are as I read. This is very short. It's just going to be a section on the landing page. So does the Google algorithm leak change anything? Yes, literally enforces compact keywords. The Google algorithm leak shares, among other things, how important signals around search intent are, despite Google reps previously saying they could not measure these things. Compact keywords are designed to target solution intent searches. Searches where people are looking to use or purchase something to fix the problem they are experiencing. The pages created for compact keywords are hyper-specific to that keyword, and for this reason, search intent is directly addressed. Compact keyword pages have high click-through rates, long clicks, and great user interactions, all metrics shown in the leak. So that was something else that was demonstrated in this leak, was how important search intent is and how important taking that into account is. Search intent is, what does a searcher want when they are making a search on Google, when they are asking ChatGPT something, when they are asking Gemini something, what do they want? And what I found, and I found this, I guess now 4 or 5 years ago, I was living in Minsk when I learned about this, and then I started using it and it started working really well. It was a system that would address hyper bottom of funnel purchase/use solution intent searches. So people have a problem and they're turning to Google to find a solution to that problem, and they don't know the brand that's going to offer that solution, but they're going to write in what they are trying to achieve, and then hopefully they're hoping that Google will give them a brand that will do what they are trying to achieve. And compact keywords are keywords that target the solutions that searchers are putting into Google. And so compact keywords is simply a way to find the things that people are searching for when they hope to use something to address their problems. And so these pages are hyper tailored to what people are searching. They're very specific to what people are searching. And as a result, the conversion rate on these pages is ridiculously high. The bounce is ridiculously low. The click-through rate is very high because the page titles match what people are putting into Google. So they see that right there. Oh, this page is called Free CRM with form integration and Slack integration. Well, that's what I just put into Google. And the page is called that, so I'm going to click it. Oh, look, it's offering everything that I want because it was made for this specific use case. Now, the thing that people don't realize is that every niche has these keywords, but it just takes some expertise to find them. That's what I'm making the product about. It's kind of how to find these keywords. For example, an easy way to do it would be to look. This is like a quick thing. This is kind of one of the things that you do to start, but you just look at what competitors are ranking for. You see who are competitors, what are they ranking for? And you'll see that competitors who aren't optimizing their sites, they will still be ranking on pages 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for these use cases. And then you can find them, you can see how competitive they are, and you can target them yourselves. And usually because they are so bottom of funnel, they're so specific, they're not very competitive. And that's the beauty of this product. But that's how I moved. I moved addressing search intent, high search intent. A lot of the SEOs who are hurt by the recent Google algorithm updates, with the March update, they were making more content sites and they were trying to do catch-all SEO. They were doing top of funnel SEO where they tried to hit as many keywords as they can, and the bounce rate would be high and the click-through rate would be crap. And as a result, Google just realized that like it's generally better if they give searchers just Reddit or Quora because searchers are trusting that more than a 3,000 word article on a random blog. That's what searchers want. So now Reddit and Quora and other user-generated content sites are eating that traffic. And I always thought that was dumb. Not always. 5 years ago when I discovered the bottom of funnel method, then I thought it was dumb. And it is. Addressing search intent and hyper-specific search intent is just like the best way to go. And that's something else that this leak addressed. So the leak addressed like people who didn't think like an algorithm. Like this is what I would always say. 10 years ago, I was doing classes at Microsoft teaching this. And I would always say, okay, you want to outsmart Google. Cool. You literally are trying to outsmart the highest paid developers from all around the world who get flown to New York and San Francisco to work on algorithms to outsmart you. And you are trying to outsmart those people. Good luck. Now, there are ways to do it, and it's been done. Like I said, Parasite SEO right now is a very common way. But is that really outsmarting Google, I ask you? Because you are still addressing search intent. You are still giving searchers what they want. It's just on Reddit, and it's just on Quora. And now you're ranking a bit faster than possible, and you can share your product as well. But it's very rare that I will Google something, be shown a Reddit link, and then that Reddit link will take me to like Viagra or something, to some penis pill or something, which is a typical SEO scam. There used to be a lot of cloaking. You don't really see that anymore because people have gotten a lot worse at outsmarting Google. It's become harder and harder. So the people who have played the long game, like me, are more likely to have won. People who play the short-term game, more likely to have lost. Long-term game, by the way, means building a brand. Google, like I said, has all these different ways of measuring brand, building a high domain authority and reinvesting into the brand, reinvesting into the product so that domain authority grows and so you can rank for more stuff. That's all been shown in the leak. So I thought this was really interesting. I've been seeing SEOs being like, oh, Google said they didn't know that, and it turns out that they did. Well, it should have been obvious. It should have been obvious, and that's what I'm sharing. So with anything that you are doing, any digital marketing effort that you are doing, the way that I operate is I always try to think like an algorithm designer on this platform. And very, 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 very rarely does that come to bite. Very rarely. The only time that came to bite me, actually, it's really only been once that I can think of. I've shared this story on the podcast before. We have a company, it's called Commit Club. It used to be called commit.club. Now it's commitclub.co, but it was commit.club. .club is a TLD, top level domain. So .com is a TLD, .co is a TLD, .xyz is a TLD. We picked .club because it sounded cool, commit.club. And this was before Elon Musk took over Twitter. I don't know if it's like this now, but it turned out .clubs historically had been used for web spam. It had been used for a lot of spam. And so what the Twitter algorithm designers did is they just completely shadowed any tweet response, any response in a tweet thread that contained a .club link. Any response in a thread of tweets on the old Twitter that contained a .club link, people wouldn't see that. The only person who would see that was a person who posted it. Other people wouldn't see that. And it was a blanket ban, no matter how reputable the .club site was, because I saw some very reputable sites that were also experiencing this. No matter how reputable the site was, it would not be shown, just wouldn't be shown. This was very lazy programming from old Twitter's part. I was so angry about it because it was so lazy. There were so many different ways to tell if a site was spammy. They could have used Moz domain authority, for example. They could have just done a quick crawl onto the site, but literally they could have done Moz domain authority. That would have been an easy way. They could have looked at spam score from Moz. This is from an API. Moz has this. Moz shares this stuff. They could have looked at all of that. And instead, they just said blanket ban. The laziest programming solution ever. Blanket ban on .club TLDs. And as a result, we had to change the domain name of Commit Club to commitclub.co, and we lost out on some marketing on a promotion that we were doing on Twitter. It was very frustrating, but that was this one time I just didn't think like, I tried to think like an algorithm designer, But that was such lazy algorithm designing that I didn't see it coming. But for the most part, if you think like an algorithm designer, then you're not going to get penalized. You're not going to get hurt. You're going to figure things out, and you'll be playing the long game, and then you'll get wins, and those wins will compound to bigger and bigger wins. And that's how I believe marketing should be done, and that's how I believe search engine optimization should be done. And that's what I wanted to share on the show. That's something that I noticed from this Google algorithm leak. So this is episode 329 of The Edward Show. It is 9:53 a.m. I woke up late this morning because I posted my video about the leak yesterday at midnight. And then I had some food and I went to sleep at 1:30 or 1:40. I said, I got to sleep. And as I was falling asleep, all these different thoughts were hitting me. And I'm like, I'm going to share all of this in the podcast tomorrow. I can't wait. And so first thing I do, roll out of bed, record this and share this with you all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.